submission game is very, very highly respected.
Today, we're getting hyped, because Conor McGregor has lit the fire under a potential fight with his bitter rival Nate Diaz. That's right, y'all, there might be a rematch happening, and this time, it'll be for the score to be set. But this seems like only McGregor's plan. He's gone as far as letting us know his game plan. The man's confident, to say the least. So, if you want to know more, let's get into it. First up, a rubber match between Conor and Diaz. Seriously, what better New Year's gift could we have got? After such a long time, things are getting heated between Conor McGregor and Diaz, and this time, fans of the fighter might get the resolve we've waited for, and it looks like Conor's already prepared to take his rival down. Fans have been wanting a rematch in the octagon for almost 6 years since the two met, because each one gained one win over their last two insane matches, but the pair have never been able to meet again, leaving us a little bit annoyed at the tied score. Though, with Diaz recently fighting his way out of his UFC contract, he's left room for a promotion after almost 15 years. So come on, if there was ever going to be a time when their fight could be anticipated in the right way, it'd be now. And a few weeks ago, the potential of this match becoming a reality finally increased. This was done, of course, by the rivals' incredible clash on social media. It included McGregor daring Diaz to slap fight in UFC President Dana White's latest Power Slap League. Again, we all know one thing: the man knows how to act out in style. Come on, we were all waiting for their next replies on the edge of our seats. Come on, you can't tell us that this intensity hasn't set the perfect groundwork for a real fight to happen, one that'll settle their score and in some ways give away the ultimate belt. Next up, what was their intense back and forth? Well, we're so glad you asked, because it was honestly such a fun time for everyone there. But if you missed it, sit back and enjoy our dramatic retelling, which, if we're fair, only does justice. See, the part that was the most, oh god, we're going there, was when, during a more serious exchange, the former 2-weight world champion revealed his fight strategy. This was a new move, cause you'd expect a fighter like him to need those tricks under his belt. The surprise attacks, if you will. But no, the man's so confident that he'll win against his rival that he straight up said he'd just have to sprint from the first bell to catch his W. And as far as McGregor's concerned, he knows he's been milling people that are the shape and size of his opponent and leaving them in bad shape. It's a bold move to be so direct about how he feels about fighting Diaz again. Still, he did admit that he does respect his rival to give some kind of clapback. He's just also clear that it won't be enough, and that, guys, is how you humble someone, cause he's not just constantly dishing on Diaz, but he knows he doesn't have to, cause he's just gonna sprint until he has to stop. And the opening bell will be when he's got the most power in his corner. He's legit just gonna embody the phrase "come in swinging," seeing what comes next. Following that, Nate Diaz's response. You can imagine that he'd want to be equally as creative, right? And we'll certainly give him credit, he didn't hold back. Diaz, of course, then tweeted about his win over McGregor, along with clips from their first fight. And that just added the extra bit of drama we all wanted. They just highlighted how he won by submission in the second round, and you could tell that he was trying to step on Conor's nerves. Honestly, if it were us, he would have been successful, especially when he went on to say that if submissions weren't possible, he would have knocked his rival out faster than Floyd. And that right there is the type of game you play when you're daring someone to try and take a hit. But he wasn't done with just that. No, the man added that because that wasn't the case, he let him down easy and choked McGregor out better and faster than kebab. Yikes. So, surely his opponent then clapped back even harder until this all built up, right? Well, in the twist of a century, that's not what happened. We know, we're all shocked here, but it's true. McGregor took a rare step back, responding with a simple respect with a 100% emoji, and then he went into his rant about how he'd go about their incredible trilogy. Diaz then also joked that he's already beaten him to an end, to which McGregor suggested a slap fight before ending everything off with boom, roasted. Let's talk about the potential third round. Other than the fact that it'd be awesome, how much would be riding on these two meeting up to settle the score? Short answer, a lot. See, to start with, there's been constant speculation about a trilogy for both McGregor and Diaz, because these two haven't left their rivalry after their fights. Of course, there's the common respect between fighters, but they really want to keep on challenging each other. And because of this clear tension and weight, they had managed to break UFC pay-per-view records at the time of their second fight. Do y'all realize how popular that makes their fights? Separately, we all know they're beasts, but when you put that together in a ring, that's a weekend we're all gonna mark on our calendars with a "don't disturb" alert on top. And their first meeting was proof of that hype out of the gate. See, it was the highest selling match ever, with 1.5 million paying to watch the fight and another 1.65 million buying the rematch. We certainly don't need to tell you how invested we were. The numbers do the talking here. What's more is, the money was only surpassed in UFC 229. 2009, in which McGregor faced Khabib Nurmagomedov. So, come on, it took a lot to get over that sum of enthusiasm and insane energy of their first match. Wouldn't a third round live up to that? But it looks like it'll be up to the fighters if they really want to take it there. Up next, Diaz's reminder of who's on top, because you know we gotta dive deeper into this man's comebacks. The man seemed to put in a lot of effort to really get his point across. He would be a bigger challenge than McGregor's previous opponents, those that he lost to. Again, if nothing else, these two know how to break in the heat for their fights. Whether that's in the ring or online, it doesn't seem to matter, and that's exactly why their rivalry is one of the most iconic things about UFC right now. Wouldn't you all agree? Either way, after McGregor brought on the chance for their rematch to be part of the Slap League, Diaz was quick to turn that as an opportunity to remind the man he wouldn't last a chance, especially given his recent performances. To be fair, he ain't being only cocky. Nate is kinda famous in the MMA community for his title Stalk and Slap, so Conor was coming for him at his own game, and we're sure it was a directed move to instigate his rival even more. But Nate only mocked McGregor for his attempt, trying to remind him of his loss at UFC 196, maybe telling him to calm down before a moment like the ones we've already gone through. Still, this was just more proof that these two are very aware of which buttons to push for the other one to keep their tension going, and Diaz sharing clips of McGregor's losses was just an awesome example of that. Moving on, what were McGregor's previous L's? Hey, we're not letting you know of this list so that we can bash on the fighter, but just giving you guys some context for the dips he has taken. So maybe one of the most insane losses yet was when Conor McGregor was defeated by Khabib Nurmagomedov in the 4th round of their grudge match at UFC 229. And y'all, that fight was so intense. Seriously, if any of you haven't caught it yet, which should genuinely be shocking for us, but alright, we'd recommend you take some time out and just get ready to be shook. Though we'll admit, that fight still comes up short as compared to his blockbuster fight with Floyd Mayweather in August 2017, which of course, that's not a surprise to anyone cause that was a cultural moment, you know? And there, the Irishman fell short of trying to replicate his octagon success in the boxing ring, which led to McGregor getting defeated by TKO in the 10th round. Again, yes, that was insane, but still, we think if either of those two defeated the other, the fact that the fight was happening gave them enough credit.
Nope, it's on the chin. There's the tap.
Lastly, there's also Hollywood fuel for this third match. No, that isn't something any of us were expecting, but it's true because Diaz claims that McGregor's acting debut role was first offered to him. Though, if y'all have no clue what we're talking about, let's catch you up. So, Conor McGregor, Diaz's longtime rival, is set to make his film debut in the new adaptation of the Hollywood classic Roadhouse. Yes, we're insanely excited about it, but it's still not a mix any of us had on our bingo cards for the year. Still, let's go. But Diaz told Ramondi that Conor's role was first offered to him by movie reps in June of last year, though, of course, Diaz turned down the role because he didn't want to lose to the film's main character, who'll be played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Now that's honestly kinda like a double-edged diss at both the actor and his rival. Still, fair enough, especially if he'd rather spend that energy training for a rematch with McGregor. Though whether or not that happens, we're gonna have to wait and see. That's a wrap on this video. Let us know what you think about McGregor so easily giving out how exactly he'd be willing to take out Nate Diaz if they get to finish their trilogy. Is it too cocky? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.
With one southpaw before the first meeting.